Hello Internet, this is the YouTube Pagan Challenge from Maria. Now I have how many weeks that I am behind on? Because this is week 16. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 8 weeks that I've missed. And I'm sorry for that. And I just kept letting them add up because none of them were long enough to really do a full video. So let's start with week 9. For week 9, the question was, do you keep a journal or diary on your experiences? Yes. I have several journals that I use for writing about certain things, and then I also blog on WordPress, and then due to some recent developments, I also blog on Tumblr. But those two are completely separate things. So that's kind of what that is. Alright, so next is week 10, which is what do the moon phases mean for me? And that would be, because I consider the moon like Mom. For the most part, I'm not big onto the moon phases. I don't do much that is related to the changing of the moon's phases. I do observe new moons and full moons, but that's about it. And I can tell you what the phase of the moon is right at the moment when I'm looking at the moon. But that's about it. New moon and full moon are basically just like able to talk to Mom real clear, not able at all. And then the next one is very close to that. What does the sun mean to you? Yes, I'm eating again. This time it's pretzels. The sun is Dad. Basically, I call the sun my father. And I mean, along with that, I also observe the equinoxes and solstices. And I have a relationship with one god that he is a dark half of the year god. I don't see him from December 21st to June 21st. I don't see him. Which is okay. It's sad. I miss him. But we're not super close. But so yeah, I observed that. And then this time of the year relating to spring is the next week question. And with that would be, it's spring, there are flowers, nothing's really too much of a thing. It's just kind of there. I'm not a big spring person. I kind of have sad seasonal affective disorder, but it's mainly for when it starts getting sunny again, which is real weird when it starts warming up. I'm going to skip week 13 for this video because I want to do a full video on it. Because that's it's do you use divination, what kind, which is very important to my practice. So week 14 was, what does magic mean to you? And yes, I do spell it with a K. Magic is both lifeblood, it is everything mysterious in the universe, it is personal power. One thing that I'm glad that I saved this till today, recently watched a documentary on M-theory. Look into it if you like physics and string theory. And M-theory hasn't been totally fleshed out yet, but it's gotten to the point where it's the most accepted superstring theory because it unites all of the string theories. But they're not sure what the M is for. There are several things it could be for, and one of them, depending on personal taste, is magic. And personally, I like to think that that's totally a thing, and magic is holding the world together, so until they decide to try and prove otherwise, that's what I'm sticking to. Alright, week 15, so last week, was do you perform spells on a regular basis? No, I don't. Mainly because most of my practice is divinatory, and divinatory and personal experience based. Most of the time, I either don't have the time and energy for spells, I just have the time and energy to put in what I have. Basically, how you're supposed to, sorry that I keep moving everything, you're supposed to, if like you do a spell to try and get a job, you also are putting yourself forward and trying to get that job. Which reminds me, I actually do need to do a job spell. Just because I've already applied, so now I just need to do stuff like that. So I don't perform spells on a regular basis. I have been known to create spells for people. Like if they need something specific. Just because I do have a strangely encyclopedic mind for magical stuff and folklore and mythology, I've had some people who've been like, since you know so much about this, and you are able to do research, like, you want to do research, which is a thing I like to do, can you do this for me? And so that's what I usually end up doing. Occasionally I'll get asked to make a specific charm or something. Alright, and then this week's number 16, what spiritual practice do you do most often? I'm going to have to say it's between traveling astrally, and divination. Those are the two biggest ones for me. I'm also a fiction writer, so I usually dedicate my stories to whichever god that I feel like they should be dedicated to. One that I'm working on right now for the Writer's Digest competition is dedicated to Hecate, because Hades would kill me if I tried to dedicate it to him, because it's about necromancy. Hades isn't a big necromancy fan. Hecate's more of the necromancy fan. Personal belief right there. Yeah. Yeah, there is necromancy in it. The entire thing is about necromancy. Yeah. And that, for the most part, is what I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here, and I will do week 13 pretty soon. I still have an hour before I have to head out, so yeah.